Good afternoon, guys. My name is Ashwin. I hope my voice is clear, and thanks to the pleasant Bangalore climate, I hope. So, cloud computing. So, everybody talks about cloud computing nowadays. Wherever you go in the past 4 days here in the GID is like cloud. What is it? What it is all about, cloud computing? So, let me ask you this small question. How many of you here have already worked on any kind of cloud platform? Let it be infra as a service, platform as a service. Have any of you worked on any of those cloud platforms already? All right. So why this cloud computing is viewed as such a huge technology and everyone everywhere in the IT corner talks about it? There are two main reasons. One being it's a disruptive technology. It is changing the way, the entire way, how IT is looked at. And the second thing is not just a technology anymore. It's becoming as a business model. Everything is starting to evolve around the cloud computing. So I'm not going to take much of definitions and essays about cloud computing. So my goal here is to tell you about the infra as a service platform which IBM offers. From the IBM portfolio, we have Bluemix, which is a platform as a service, which you would have had a session on the first day. And this is going to be mainly about SoftLayer. What can SoftLayer do to you from the DevOps perspective? So I have a small video. I'm not going to give you any presentation, so that's a good news for you. So just a small 2-minute video, which in a nutshell gives you what SoftLayer is all about. I need the mic. Yeah. Sorry.
Traditional application development is a one-way track, with information moving forward one phase at a time. So when issues are detected, you're forced to pull the brakes, bringing development to a screeching stop until the problem is isolated and fixed. But application development with SoftLayer is totally different. SoftLayer, part of the IBM Cloud portfolio that also includes the next-generation platform-as-a-service IBM Bluemix, enhances and unites each phase of the application development lifecycle, enabling optimal productivity by removing the barriers between development and operations. With the SoftLayer DevOps infrastructure, you can rapidly duplicate and provision environments. You can also develop, test, and deploy applications in a single cloud environment at internet scale, and seamlessly switch from flexible, elastic virtual environments to dedicated bare metal environments to meet development and operations needs. With IBM Cloud and SoftLayer, you can ramp up resources easily to get teams going quickly or to elastically address workload spikes during peak production, giving you high performance, capacity, and compute power when you need it, and saving time and cutting costs when you don't. With the SoftLayer Cloud infrastructure, you gain the versatility of virtual with the raw power of physical. Provision and deploy onto a dedicated bare metal environment when you need it, without abandoning your work. Then, by adjusting back-end deployment details, you can set your ideal level of performance and security. It's the freedom to leverage any combination of dedicated and virtual servers to meet the needs of your application, along with APIs and tools to build the application you want. With the SoftLayer platform, IBM Cloud is bringing you the best in infrastructure and platform as a service solution. IBM Cloud and SoftLayer. Cloud without compromise.
So that's about it, the video. No, that's not. So SoftLayer, so what it is about? It is an infra as a service platform where you can hire any IT infra, let it be server, storage, networking equipment, anything you can imagine from an IT infra perspective, hourly basis or monthly basis, and how it can help you. So how we define cloud in IBM is like it is not a commodity. We don't call the cloud as a commodity because no two cloud are the same. Every cloud, let it be Amazon, let it be Microsoft, like you can see any company here, everyone talks about cloud. They have their own cloud solutions right over there. But they're not the same. So where we make a difference with SoftLayer. So usually when you say cloud, people relate it easily with virtualization. People say cloud is, some people say virtualization, which makes the cloud run. So that's not right. I will agree to disagree with that completely. So can you tell me why virtualization is so important in cloud? Do you have any idea, anyone being a developer, why do people talk about virtualization more? Why is it very important? Reason being, it reduces how the IT is utilized. We can even take a small micro instances, like let me say 1 core and 1 GB, and you want to put a small mobile application and test it up, or develop a small code, you can take it up. But when it comes to like performance-based cloud, like when you want to put some Hadoop cluster, you want to test something on the big data part, analytics part, and some people are like hesitant, will I be able to run that on the cloud? Such a huge performance, will I be able to get it on the cloud? Of course not, when you're going to use it through virtualization. So that is where SoftLayer makes the difference. We give you a pure bare metal server on the cloud. So by bare metal, I mean a physical server on the cloud, and you will be given access to the BIOS of that particular server. So that's a very interesting point to note there. There are many providers who will claim that they give you the same thing. They called it by the name of dedicated servers. So dedicated server is pretty much not the same with what the bare metal concept IBM has. So in this particular bare metal server, a physical server is put in the rack just for you, and the BIOS access and the root access is given to you. The key is given to you. And the interesting part there, we don't virtualize it. You can put any OS you want. We have a set of OS flavors starting from Windows to Linux, and even AIX is going to be rolled out on cloud pretty much in the future. So if that is not enough, if you want to put your own OS, we had some customers who had a weird request. They want to put Novel OS on it, which is nowhere in the market, and some people want to put Solaris. It's up to you. If you have the ISO with you have the image with you, you can put it on our bare metal servers and run it. And one more interesting thing, if you want to virtualize it, for example, you want to put up your own cloud environment, you want to virtualize it, we'll give you the VMware tools to you, or maybe Citrix Zen, Hyper-V, whatever you need, or your own virtualization. You can put it on top of our bare metal servers. You can virtualize it however you want. And the next important part, we don't really bother what you're doing with the servers. The server is completely yours. You can develop with it, you can test it with it, you can host it directly out of it. That's the beauty here. So if you go to platform as a service, you can develop the app. Yes, you can host it out of there, but there will be some kind of constraints. You will not be having the complete freedom to do whatever you need. But in infra as a service, yes, you have the complete freedom, because the complete access, the root access is given to you. And also, to tell you what kind of control you have on a bare metal servers, you can even go and upgrade the firmware, the bare metal servers. I don't think any cloud provider will let you do that in their servers, because changing a firmware is something really that might even affect their internal infrastructure as well, how the cloud is provisioned, because everything is automated in the cloud. So that is something interesting. And let me directly jump into the demo. I'll show you how the SoftLayer portal works. How can you see the bare metal server? Because even though it's a physical server, you're not going to physically touch it. You don't have the touch and feel of it. You're going to remotely access it. So that is a hesitation what usually people have. Even let it be a developer, a system admin. I was a system admin myself. I was a Windows Server admin. So I know what kind of hesitation people have to use cloud computing nowadays. So let me directly jump into it. So this is a SoftLayer website. So since, as I already told you, I'm not going to bore you with any presentations, I'm directly going to jump in and show you what exactly this SoftLayer platform is all about, how you can use it. So let me take you to the products and services section. So this is what I was telling you about. So we have servers, storage, networking, security, and for developers, you have some 2000 APIs we already have released it. So using that, you can integrate your existing environment as well. It's not that you have to take this and start everything from scratch. If you have already something running out for you and you want to integrate that onto the cloud, so this will be the best thing for you. So under servers, you can see two important categories. One is a bare metal server, and the second one is a virtual server. So the bare metal is something which you will see only under SoftLayer's portfolio. And the reason being, like, IBM is famous for servers. We manufacture our own servers. We've been selling servers for a very long time. So given that expertise we have, managing a bare metal server in 22 data centers across the globe just for SoftLayer. So that's a very interesting point again. Just for SoftLayer, IBM has 22 data centers around the globe. And every data center has a similar offering. We'll give you bare metal server, or either we'll directly virtualize it and give it to you. So let me take into the bare metal server configurator. We call it as an order page or a configurator, however you want to name it. So I'll show you what is the level of customization. Because normally when you say bare metal cloud, people say, okay, you're just going to give me a box. What kind of customization I get in that? If it's going to be virtual, I can pick and choose what I want. I will need a 2-core 4 GB and whatever SAN storage I need. But what are you going to give me in a bare metal server? So that also comes with customization. You can pick and choose what you need, even in the hardware part. So let me show. Yeah, this is the screen. So we have a lot. I won't be able to show you everything here, So you can see it starts with the basic server, like Xeon 127. It's as simple as you're going out and purchasing X series server, like you're doing it in Flipkart. It's as simple as that. And the server is not going to be delivered to you. It's going to be delivered to it will be set up in the data center and the access will be given to you. And let me take an example. Let me click on buy now here. So that will open up the configurator. Right. So this is the configurator. Once you select a particular chassis, whatever that chassis can offer you, all the customizations will be given to you. So the first thing you get is a list of data centers what we have. You can choose where you need the server. So this is again something very important for you, because for example your customer base is going to be located at United States. You can't take up a server in Singapore or anywhere. So you can choose where you need. And even we'll mention which server room. We can see AMS01, AMS03. In Amsterdam, we have 2 different server rooms. Even that will be mentioned to you. You can go up to that level of granular control here in SoftLayer. So once you select the location, so I'll select Dallas. And we'll show you what is the server processor. Okay, let me take a better one. It will give you a lot of other options. And I think you'll be having one more question in your mind. If I'm going to buy a bare metal server from you guys, what is the time taken to deploy it? Normally, if you buy a bare metal server, it will take like maybe a month's time to get it in your office and put all the nuts and bolts and deploy it, and some person has to come and load the application. It's going to easily take 2 to 3 weeks. And here, we will be able to give you the server with the operating system and any of the databases and software you selected in our configurator. We'll deploy it with the maximum of 4 hours. You will be given in the server login prompt. It's as quick as that. And again, that talks about, as you said, the go-to-market. It's all about the same. Okay, now in this particular thing, let me select the location. And you can see the number of customization I have under the server processor. This is just for the processor. You can say our dual processor, hex core, octo core. So those are just examples what you can customize and select. It's not just I give you a box, it's going to be a quad core, it's going to be 8 GB, okay, take it and go. That's all I can give you. It's not the case. Actually, the interesting fact, more than a virtual server, in bare metal server, we have more customizations in SoftLayer, more than a virtual server. There are the combinations which we worked out. We have 120 different bare metal configurations which you can work out in this same website. You can go access it anywhere, you can check it out. There will be 120 different customizations, combinations what you can make out of this particular SoftLayer bare metal offering. And the next thing, yes, this is something I don't know if it will make much sense to you. Intel TXT, Trusted Execution Technology. That's a very new technology, which IBM was the first person to partner with Intel to get this technology out of bare metal servers. So what it exactly does is it's a firmware level security given to you. You can go and modify which application to boot, which application should not boot in case there is a kind of attack that's happened on your server. This particular TXT will help you to prevent that attack going inside a server and destroying a server completely. Even that. So why I'm telling you this particular thing is this will not happen unless we have the firmware access. So this is one more proof that firmware access is given to you, because many people they have asked me, you tell me that you give me the root access, you tell me that you give me the admin access, but how do you prove it? I don't know, okay, log into the BIOS and change whatever you want. And they've been able to do it. So that is the proof. And this is also one more proof. And coming to the Rampart, you can see it starts with 16 GB and you can see where it goes up to 512 GB RAM. And all these deployed to you in a maximum of 4 hours. If it's going to be a small configuration server, maybe an hour will be deployed. 4 hours is the maximum cap we have for a high-end server. We even have servers with GPU units in that. We have dual GPU units, we have mass servers, everything will be deployed in 4 hours. And coming to the operating system, which will make more sense to you, we have a lot of flavors, starting from CentOS, Citrix, Cloud Linux, Microsoft. In Microsoft, we have a huge set. If you're a Microsoft-based developer, we have a complete set of operating systems in Microsoft, starting from 2008 till 2012. Most of the editions are covered here. And if you're going to be using Linux, we have a lot of Linux as well. And coming to the storage, we have a lot of storage options. So let me show you what all the options we have here. So we have SATA, SAS disk, and SSD storage as well. So all these, you can select which one you need, and adding to that, you can select if you need RAID, you can select what RAID you want. So that is some added customizability which you don't get in any other providers. No one lets you customize a RAID unless you are given a bare metal server. So that's it. And bandwidth is something, this is a very big differentiator. When you talk about cloud, bandwidth is everything. How much data flows to and fro from your server and whatever you upload to your server. So in a bare metal server, every month we bundle with the initial cost 20 TB of download bandwidth. So if you're going to download up to 20 TB, you will not be charged extra for it. Why am I telling you not going to be charged for it is because normally every provider will not give you more than a GB of initial data download. After that, each and every MB you download will be charged. So what happens there is your billing becomes a mess. Because you cannot guarantee that once you deploy the application, okay, this month my application server is going to download so much of data. Next month it's going to be 2 TB. This month it's going to be 20 TB. You can't guarantee that because you can't understand the customer behavior, how they're going to access the server. So given that, if your bandwidth is going to fluctuate every month, I mean the billing is not your part you have to worry about, but again it'll worry someone in the organization who will come back and tell you what is happening in the server. Why is there so much fluctuation? They'll come back and ask you. So to all these things, we give you 20 TB included. And 20 TB is huge. If you're having one server, 20 TB is huge. If you're having two servers, 2 into 20 TB per month. I'm talking about this per month. So that's going to be 40 TB of download data. So as much as server you have, it's going to get pooled and it's going to get multiplied. So that's a huge amount of data that you don't have to worry about. And you can ask me, what about the upload? We don't meter it. We don't even see how much data I upload to the servers. The reason being, all the 22 data centers is connected by using IBM's own cabling. So since it's our own network, we don't worry how much data you pass between our data centers. You might have a server in Singapore or one in US. You don't bother how much you transfer or how much you upload from your location to the server. We don't worry about it. And there are a lot of network things which you can select. By default, we get 100 Mbps link. And beyond that, we go up to 1 Gbps link also to your server. So if you're using some kind of analytics-based server with us and you need a good connectivity so that your data flows seamlessly, this is the option that you need to be selecting here, whichever is preferable for you. So I'm just going to skip all these IP address stuff. So even SoftLayer is enabled on IPv6. So we all know that we are in a state of IPv4 exhaustion. Yeah. This is not for a VM. This is for a bare metal server. So initially you can see that, we can see the title here, Dual Xeon 2000 series chassis. That is the chassis name. So if you're going to the VM, you don't get much of options here. You, instead of seeing all these, you'll just see how many cores you need. Logical cores, 2 cores, 4 cores, 8 cores, 16 cores. The options will be like that. Sorry, I didn't get your question. Right? No. Since it's the bare metal only, having the access to the firmware, I would put it in that way. It's not because we are giving access to the firmware, it's the bare metals. Because we're giving a bare metal, you'll have access to the firmware. That is the right way to put it across. So that I told as a proof, because many people ask me, how do you prove it's a bare metal? I don't see the server. It can be either virtualized. Because there are tools nowadays where you can't even make out that the server is virtualized. Unless the operating system is really intelligent and the person who's administrating is really intelligent, you can't make out. So people ask, how do you prove it? So one way is we give you the BIOS access. You can see the BIOS. So there's one more thing I didn't tell you. There's something called as IPMA console, because I didn't want to take all this, say all those technical jargons. There is something called as a remote console. It'll open up within a browser and you will be able to see what is happening in the server. Even if you initiate a reboot, it comes up with that motherboard's logo, everything you can see there. So that is where you can go access the BIOS. It'll show you that similar blue BIOS screen, what you see in the usual motherboards. It's the same thing. So the network part, yes, as I said, SoftLayer is already enabled on IPv6. There is a lot of IPv4 exhaustion going on, and people are struggling to assign IP, especially in the cloud portfolio, because every server, we give a static IP to every server. And you can purchase more than one static IP as well. So in those cases, we are already facing a shortage of IPs, if you frankly ask me, in IPv4 section. So IPv6 is enabled, but it is not enabled that much in the internet, but just an idea to give you that it's enabled there with us. And these are some add-ons which I don't want to explain much, which makes sense. If you're taking VMware, we'll give you the vCenters. If you're taking Citrix, we'll give you the Citrix. Zen Server Advanced version for controlling. And so everything we load it here itself. We can select whatever you need. And coming to database softwares, these are some set of predefined softwares what we already have. We don't have a huge portfolio with respect to databases. In Microsoft, yes, we have some. And MongoDB we have. But apart from these, if you have your own applications, your own databases, no restrictions. You can directly put it on the server and you can run it. We don't even give you a restriction that it should be a proper licensed one. You should not use open source, nothing like that. You can use anything you want in your servers. It's not that you should use only these databases, whatever SoftLayer is giving. That's not the case. If you have your own thing, you want to put cloud or cloud and anything, you can go ahead and do that. And yes, there are some set of softwares we give with respect to firewalls. Software-based things like we give a McAfee Virus Scan Enterprise free with all the servers. Yes, one is Windows servers because you can't install them on Linux servers. And a lot of other intrusion detection, protection that will not make much more sense to you. So this is just a brief idea about the configurator. Once I place an order here, once a particular salesperson approves the order, your server provisioning will start. That particular point of time, someone in the data center will be notified, look, this particular server needs to be put in the rack. This is the customized configuration that the customer has selected. So they'll verify if all this hardware is compatible with each other first. That will not take more than 10 minutes because they're experts over there. Once they find out, okay, this is a very good configuration, it will work seamlessly, the software doesn't have any problem with the motherboard, there's no conflict, someone will start putting it one by one. And if it's just going to be, for this particular configuration, what is selected now, I would say it will not take more than 1.5 hours to even load the OS and give it to you in the login prompt. If it's going to be Windows Server, Windows login prompt. Linux, you will be in the Linux login prompt. So once you get that, how do you control your servers? So that will be the next question. How do I go and see my servers? If I want to upgrade my servers, where do I go? So do I have to call the SoftLayer support or whom do I approach? So that is the next question. Or you, as a developer, okay, how do I even log into the server and set up my environment and start developing, start coding in that? How do I do that? So everything is web-based. So this is where we do all those. This is called as control.softlayer.com. It's just a 3-word website. You will get a user ID and password for this in the email. So once you log into this is how you see the initial screen. So you'll get the account summary, which is not for you, and you can see whether the server is up or running. All just brief snapshots in the first page. So the server is up and running and how many tickets are there. DNS zones has been set up here. So all those is a brief information. And at the top, you can see all the options. Devices, storage, network. So anything you want to control with respect to the IT infra part, this is where you have to come. Let it be, literally anything. Let it be, you have to control your servers, your storage, your networking. You want to have more IP addresses. You want to change the operating system. You want to change the database inside that. You want to add up a firewall, remove an antivirus. Anything is done in this single website. So I'm not going to show everything here because it will take more than 2 days if I explain each and every option what we have there. So it has so many options. So I'm just going to take you to the server page where you can see details about the server. So this is the brief thing. If we click on the server name, it will give us the complete details. And interesting things in our bare metal server, like one more thing what we provide is also like some customers for security reasons and compliance reasons, they will ask like, I need to know what is the product that is used in my bare metal server, each and every serial number, who is the manufacturer, everything will be able to give you. Some information will be available here itself, some which is not available are on request, our team will be able to provide you that. Where your data center is located, what is the address of it, which server room your server is sitting on, which rack it is sitting, what is the brand of server being used there, what is the motherboard's brand, the product serial number, hard drive serial number, RAM serial number, everything will be provided to you. So that is the level of transparency what SoftLayer as well gives. Yeah, definitely. That is where I was showing you the configurator on the website. If you just go to the website and explore, you have a lot of bare metal options there. You can select whichever you need based on your needs. And in case you have selected a wrong thing, you want to modify it here, you can come out to the same page. So you can see here. So whatever I put there, you can see the operating system, whether see software section for license information. We'll even give you the license key, what is being loaded in your application software. And you can see the RAM, processor, what is the motherboard that's being used. Every information will be given to you. And how to control this server? In the top right, you have something called as actions. So every single action is mentioned there. What you need to do with the server: reboot, power off, do an OSLE load, update firmware, and create an image of the server, whether you want to duplicate it to other data center. And the last thing is called as a KVM console, which will not open right now because I don't have the VPN connected. So once I connect to the VPN, it will open up that small window where you can see your server. It's called as IPMI console. Some of you have been server administrators, you will recognize that word. There are a lot of words how every brand calls it. So basically where you can see the your server, go to reboot it, go to the BIOS, change your RAID settings as well. So a lot of things. So since I'm not connected to the VPN, I won't be able to open that window right now. And this is pretty much about it. So a lot of things are there. So remote management, bandwidth, monitoring, store your password securely, about the security perspective, what is the firewalls been taken there. So that is about it. And one more important thing in SoftLayer, with all these bare metals, we give free support to you. Let it be virtual or bare metals. Our support is completely free, 24/7. You can either call the tech team, you can chat with them, or if you want all the support steps we documented, you can raise a ticket. So these three modes are available, and we don't even charge you a single penny for it. The reason I'm telling you, there are a lot of providers who charge you for it. You have to buy the packages, like developer package, premium package, enterprise package, gold, silver, platinum, a lot of categories. We don't have that with SoftLayer. Complete support is free for every customer. If you call, next moment some human will pick the call and talk to you about it. Whatever, let it be a sales issue or technical issue, there is someone who's going to be talking to you. So this is a brief, very, very brief thing what I want to give you here. And we also have a booth out there if you want to have a trial and see how this thing works, how this bare metal works. Is it really bare metal? You want to check it out yourself. You can just walk up to the booth there. We'll be able to give you a free trial for 30 days with the configuration that you need to pick. You can pick your own configuration. It's not that we're giving you a trial. We will be giving you what's the config you need. You can pick whatever you need. And you can run it for 30 days and figure out what it is all about. So that's it from my end. So any questions you have? Yes, please. Okay. Right. Right. So if you just look at cost, I wouldn't just take DigitalOcean as a competitor. Let it be anyone with respect to IBM. Costing, because the kind of proposal what we'll submit to you, the line items that we add in that, not everyone adds it. We even add bandwidth in a line item. We'll tell you whatever we're going to charge, what we're going to charge in the second month, everything will be mentioned there. So if we compare quote to quote, the price, obviously IBM will look higher. But when you compare the invoice after you get them, after usage of a month, when you compare that, we will be actually cheaper. And one more thing, I don't know. I don't know how we can ask them to prove that the whatever services they're giving is actually the thing what I was promising to you. Because with respect to IBM, we can just have the brand's name trust, and pricing will matter to you once you start using our services. If we just directly compare the price, it won't make sense to you. I can guarantee you that. Because there are many customers who have initially they had hesitation on going up with respect to the price, and once they're on the platform, they're extremely happy with it. I can say this is the only cloud where you can get the performance, because we are the only persons who give you the physical server on the cloud. I can directly challenge you with that. There are many people who say that, but I can give you the proof. So if you need to run a Hadoop cluster or something related to big data analytics or SAP HANA, this is the right environment for you. A virtualized environment is not going to work. Right. 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 Definitely. So again, that's again thing. So as I initially said, cloud has become a business model. So you can use it however you want. You can either directly host an application to a specific client, or you can make it as a SaaS model. Making it a SaaS model depends upon how your delivery model is going to be. It's just a delivery model. So this is going to be the brick and mortar, the basement. You can take this, you can build on top of this. Either you're going to make it a SaaS model, or you can directly give it as a turnkey to a customer. It's all up to you. So that can be done. Definitely, you can use that, because we have a lot of ERP customers also using our servers for transactional based workloads. They're using it, so they don't face any trouble with that. It's going perfectly smooth. you can definitely try that out. Definitely. That is the reason why we are giving bare metal to you, because in a virtualized environment, you are getting only logical cores and logical RAM and everything is logical over there. So in a bare metal only, you get the complete raw power. We call it as a raw power. Since it's a physical and you're the only person using it, you will get that performance what you need. Definitely. So it's just you buy a basic physical server box, you put whatever you want on top of it. It's as simple as that. You have the complete control and customization. You can do whatever you want. You can't even see what you're doing inside the server. So that's up to you. So that's all from my end, guys. Thanks.